and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and we are here to talk about Ladies Who List Atlanta, episode 7, No New Friends. But before we get into that, let's start off with positive vibes, okay? I am super excited that we are starting this review officially over 6,000 subscribers. Y'all, I hit 6K! I'm so excited. Oh my God. I'm so excited. Thank y'all so very much. Like, it means so much to me. So much more than I can even really make y'all understand. Because, like, the show that I'm reviewing right now, number one, I know I'm only reviewing the one show, and I promise y'all we getting ready to take off. Number two, I know a lot of y'all are not watching this show, but y'all still come through and show love in the comments and tell, I ain't watching this show, but I'm watching you. And I cannot tell y'all what it means to me. It is, let me tell y'all, and take this message for your life, okay? I tell you, and today is 2/22/22 and all the synchronicities and all of that. If you have a vision for your life, please go after it. I don't care who in your life does not support you. God will send strangers. Y'all are the proof that God will send strangers to support your vision. That is my PSA for today, okay? I am so ever grateful that I cannot believe it. Y'all, I was celebrating 1,000 maybe a month or two ago, and it's at 6, over 6. Is God not amazing? I could go on forever. I really could. And it's all just to say thank you. Like, thank you. And if you are not a part of that 6,000, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Like, thank y'all so very much. Let's get into this review. So y'all know they work my nerves, but, being over the 6,000 subscribers kind of, gives you a boost that kind of changes things. So I'm going to drag them, but, I'm feeling a little better than I was when I was watching the show. So let's get into it. So the episode picks up right where we left off, which is in the middle of this argument where Kiana is basically standing up on behalf of the women with no children. Robin is telling her, you don't understand because you don't have any children. And she's doubling down on what she's saying. She is not backing down on it. Robin keeps saying to Kiana, it's not about you. And no, it's not. But what Tiffany said sums the entire thing up. In the confessional, Tiffany said she really understands what Robin is saying as a mother. However, when you are in a room full of women who are of childbearing age, you have to move about that room with some decorum. Robin is old enough to understand this. And I'm going to get into some points. I'm going to tell y'all right now up front. I'm going to hurt some feelings and I'm going to step on some toes, but it is what it is. It's just my opinion. This is how I feel about things, and I got to get this off my chest. They put it on my TV, now it's on my chest, and here I go. I totally agree with what Tiffany said. You have to have some decorum. The thing is, you're not this ignorant individual that does not understand that fertility is not an issue for some women somewhere. So if you're in a room full of women, there is a possibility, especially if there's a childless woman in this room, there's a possibility that there's a fertility issue present. And the thing is, there was no sensitivity to the matter. And I know that some people are in the comments saying, they think Kiana is overly sensitive, and we know that Robin wasn't talking about her, and I do get that Kiana could have really let it go over her head. However, and Kiana ends up owning it later in the episode, she is triggered, she is, because this is a sensitive matter to her. And she does have some hypersensitivity around it. And in the moment, you can't necessarily expect her to show in a vulnerable manner that hypersensitivity, or say, hey, these are the, this is what I'm dealing with, because she doesn't feel like she's in a safe space. I'm in a group of women who have no regard, number one, for the issue, much less for me and the issue, especially when, and let me tell you something, this is just my perception, this is my experience, as a childless woman, sometimes people do not care how much pain is attached to that. They don't care what the story is in terms of why you're childless. They just see you as footloose and fancy free. And the sensitive matter is that there are a lot of people with children who are resentful about the fact that they have children. And because you are resentful, no matter how much pain that person is in, you see their situation and their circumstance as ideal. And therefore, you have very little empathy and sympathy for them. When you don't know that the thing that you are side-eyeing them for, thinking they don't, is their struggle. Like, it was just, this whole scene was cringy and uncomfortable. It was, Tiana kind of really came out of her bag for me. I really did not like it. Tiana jumps into the whole argument to make her point, which made absolutely no sense. Tiana jumps in to say, I understand what Robin is saying because I have kids. I think about you and you and you and you. Whereas you don't think about us because you don't have kids. That doesn't even make sense. Children and consideration are two different things. You don't have to have children to be considerate, and you don't have to be considerate because you have children, which is why there are so many deadbeat parents, because having children does not automatically make you considerate. So one, her point made absolutely no sense. Number two, the point that was originally being made was that we don't have time to think about outside entities. I don't have time to think about you and you and you and you because I'm so occupied with my nuclear family. I'm so occupied with my life and my career and everything that I have going on. So I don't have time to think about you. So Tiana really jumped in with a nonsensical, counterproductive point to say, well, I think about you and you and you because I have children, but you don't think about us. No, y'all coming out your bag. And what it is that girl don't have no kids. You think she has the ideal life. You really kind of low-key ain't happy about yours. And so you're projecting onto her. It's a whole lot of projecting going on. Now, let's just keep going. Let me calm down. Y'all, they pissed me off. I'm telling you, they pissed me off. That's kind of why this review a little bit late, because I'm like, you know what? I just ranted on the last one. I can't be ranting 2 episodes in a row. I got to calm down. So let me just breathe. Okay. Tiana gives me upset for no reason. Tiana gives me, you didn't like Kiana before today. And this was just your opportunity to unleash whatever it is you've been harboring against her. That's what I got from Tiana. And Tiffany, in this moment, is seemingly the only level head. And Tiffany is literally trying to be the mediator that understands and represents everybody's point to a degree. And while she understands what Robin is saying, her point to Robin is, listen, you can't say, don't be sensitive about a matter when we know that it's a sensitive matter. And you can't expect that people are sensitive to matters that are sensitive to you when you are insensitive to their sensitivities. Like the lack of common sense and basic consideration drive me nuts. I cannot deal. I don't even know how many episodes we got of this left. I can't not deal. And Robin is too big and too grown to be the ringleader of this foolishness. And then I'm going to point out a lot of Robin's double standards, because when Tiffany was saying, you know, listen, everybody has their feelings about the subjects. Robin says, I don't have any feelings. I don't have any feelings about anything. But later in the conversation, when Kiana's feelings are brought up and Kiana says, I don't feel the way, I don't care about, well, you don't have feelings about anything, Kiana. Why is it okay for you to deflect and disregard? But when she uses your same tactic on you, it's a problem. Go to hell. Then Robin goes on to say in the confessional, this is the real problem. I think Kiana is intimidated by any better looking woman or any woman that has any potential to do better than she has. Like, who even comes to the ranch dressed like she was dressed, like she's dressed to kill? And that's your problem. She slayed your ass. I can't stand heifers like this. Why does how she chose to adorn herself bother you? If you got on your own clothes and she ain't stretched out none of your shit to be cute today, why do you have a problem with how she has chosen to adorn and present herself? Now, if you like her style, say that. If you want to copy her style, do that. But all this bunch of, you know, basically it literally goes back to that childhood. She thinks she cute. What is she supposed to do? What was she supposed to do? Come in a trash bag to make you comfortable? You done gone and bought you a body and everything else. You should be real happy and real secure. When the next heifer walks into the room, if it makes you shake, that ain't got nothing to do with her. If I walk into the room and you shiver, get a coat. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Those are your insecurities. What does what she wore to the ranch and her being intimidated by anybody who looks better than her, what does that have to do with the argument and the conversation at hand, which is that you were inconsiderate and insensitive by throwing this shady point behind your girlfriend's back who's not even there to defend herself, and as a byproduct offended the woman who was there? What does it have to do with that? I'll wait. Get on my damn nerves. So now next thing we know, Tiana is going off. For some reason, she is screaming at Kiana. She's carrying on. She's all of a sudden mispronouncing Kiana's name. And let me tell you, that thing drives me nuts. Now, you have known this girl's name for years. Y'all's names are pronounced exactly alike. And all of a sudden, you can't pronounce her name? Quiana. What is your problem, Quiana? Are you hurt? Is that the issue? Like, I don't know if it's something you can do or can't do. Ooh. Miss Tiana. Ooh, you's a nasty girl. That's why you don't let us see anything beyond the business. Because you are a nasty somebody. What is that to say to a woman? I don't know if the issue is that you can or you can't. What is that to say to a woman about why she doesn't have children? I don't know if the issue is that you don't want the ones you got, which is why you miserable, but you felt like you had to have them to get that husband that you got that you don't really want. But you know, they say I get deep, so, you know. I'm just going to tell you, the truth of the matter is there's a lot of resentful people who are presenting the image that they are happy with their lives and they're not. And especially when you have had to sacrifice some level of yourself by choosing a man you didn't quite want because of money or because that was the avenue to get this career that you have, yeah, there's going to be a little resentment. Especially when, damn, she ain't got no kids. She can get up and leave that man whenever she's ready. And Tiana kind of makes that point when she gets in the confessional. And she says, you know, as a mom, my life is not my own. My life isn't about me anymore. It's about my kids. It's about my husband, but it's not about me. And for Kiana, her life is about me, me, me. And I just can't relate to that. And I'm really seeing who she is and I don't like it. The fuck that got to do with anything? That her life is about her. This is why you got to be careful when you make the decision to become a wife and or a mother, you have to be careful with lifetime commitments. And be sure about the reasons for making those commitments. Because this is giving, I resent my life. Because I haven't heard a real reason to dislike this girl. Because if her life is about me, what does that have to do with you? I don't get it. I mean, help me understand. I know there are people who going to be in the comments that's going to tell me y'all 100% get where Tiana is coming from. And I know that Kiana is a little bit polarizing. Kiana is not all that well liked all the time. And I get it. She has her ways like we all do. But for me, I do not get how this person pouring all of themselves into themselves is upsetting to you, other than because you can't. That ain't her fault. I'm so sorry. You're going to have to reevaluate your own life. And then Tiana and Robin are with the, I'm a mother, I'm a mom, so I understand jabs. And then when Kiana and Tiana are finished arguing, because Kiana's like, look, girl, you can scream and raise your voice and carry on. I'm not even going there with you. You don't have to raise your voice. You know what? I'm a mom. Girl, let me tell you, you better be careful. You better be careful about the things you throw in people's faces. I don't wish nothing on nobody, but I am here to tell you that God got a way of showing you who is God. Be real careful about weaponizing somebody else's pain, because that was not cute. I'm a mom, I'm a wife. Girl, you sound like a miserable, suffering individual is what you sound like. You sound like you mad about it and you trying to make somebody jealous about your ball and chain. And furthermore, let me tell you something about being a mother. Be careful how you throw that in people's faces, because while you running around about I'm a mother, where's Robin's children? You have big grown children. I'd be quite interested to hear what they have to say about you. Now, you are a mother just because you've given birth to a person. That don't even mean that you're good at it. I would love to hear the Yelp reviews from the people you've raised while you throwing in somebody's face that you're a mother. Be real careful with that. Like, I'm going to tell you, I am not the one to even to play like that mess is okay. I'm not about to play like it's cute. And no, you're not going to weaponize that woman's pain because you don't like her. Girl, go to hell. They pissed me off. What I did like, I will say, is the 180 that happened. Because this whole scene started with Kiana walking up on Robin. And I feel like somewhere in the midst of all this happening, Kiana caught herself. Kiana caught herself and she brought herself back, which is why she would not allow herself to match tones with Tiana, which is why she was able to have the conversation with Robin at the end and say, listen, we can just agree to disagree. Like, you can have your points and positions. I'm going to have my points and positions, and how I feel is not going to change. You know, I'm going to feel like I felt today, tomorrow, and forevermore, as far as I'm concerned in this moment. And I'm glad that she brought herself back down from that walking up on her with a finger in her face to, you know what? I'm better than this. And I respect it. It's a good opportunity to see, you know, even if you get caught up in the moment, when you catch yourself, come right on back. Just come on back. Because the devil will try you, child. Moving on from that disaster of a scene, we get to see Crystal and her dad go to this new development that she is going to be the closing attorney for. I cannot stand Crystal. I am so sorry. The only reason I'm even mentioning this scene is because it is highly inspiring that she is a black closing attorney. She is taking her father to meet these developers who is a black family. It's a mom, dad, and son. And the mom, I believe, is the realtor. The dad is the contractor, and the son is the builder. So they buy land, clear the land, build homes on the land, and sell them. Another A1 plan. Hello, somebody. That's the only reason I'm even mentioning this. So if you don't watch this show and you happen to come across this review, you got you a little change to buy a little property, you know somebody that know how to cut down some trees and things, you know, there's a seed. Put it in your garden, see what you can come up with. Other than that, I really don't have much nice to say about Crystal, and I am trying to not drag my energy down. Let's carry on. Back at the ranch, we see Tiana is still upset. She's sitting off to the side having a conversation with Tiffany about how she had much higher expectations for the day. She thought they were going to have a really good time and celebrate their birthdays, and it just went left. And we see that Robin and Kiana are off to the side having a conversation. And Robin is telling her that, you know, she wants to tell Kiana what her take on her is. So Kiana asks her, well, Robin, what's your take on me? And Robin says, you know, you're phenomenal. You're amazing. But your bedside manner, you know, you just need to work on how you handle people. And I'm just saying that because I've had to work on my bedside manner. And they progress through this highly passive-aggressive conversation where Robin is pretty much taking digs at Kiana's personality. And every time Kiana responds, Robin says something slightly more aggressive. You don't listen well. And, you know, you always have a comeback. And, well, girl, you're sitting up here trying to, now that you've stopped screaming, you're trying to basically tell me I'm wrong in a friendly manner. And I'm telling you that I'm going to stand on my point. I don't care how you say it. You can go sing it with a choir. It's going to be what it is. Kiana's basically ready to go. Kiana and Robin are going to leave. Tiffany stops them and asks them to all come sit down. So they sit down and talk. Kiana and Tiana basically hash out that there is clearly something underlying and unspoken between them, but they are willing to set it aside for now, agree to disagree on whatever their points are, wish each other the best. They will revisit it at another time. What I also notice about Robin is that when the situation goes left, after she stirs up drama like she did, and it doesn't completely explode, and the other people are able to salvage it and bring it all back together, she tries to be the sage, wise, you know, the sage older woman at the end. Robin, go to hell. Either you won't stir it or you won't fix it. You got to pick one. But you ain't going to be the shit stirrer and the shit fixer. It don't work like that. Get some, like, I'm done with Robin. Robin is too grown for this. Now we can finally move on. I felt like that damn lady that owned that ranch. Did y'all see her in the background just standing there looking? Like, I wish y'all would get off my land with this damn foolishness. Ma'am, me too. Let's move on. In the next scene, we get to see Kira and Tiffany hosting a closing and birthday party at their new buyer's home. The new buyer is a young black couple, young black family, and he is a survivor of being shot over 15 times, has apparently made a miraculous recovery, and now has a wife and 1-year-old daughter, and are purchasing this $1.85 million home that is absolutely beautiful, fully furnished. It is everything. And Kira is, you know, talking about how watching them get to secure their dream kind of gives her hope as she's in the midst of having lost her dream with her home burning down. And it was just really nice to see. We then get to see Kiana and her business element, and she's talking about, you know, what drives her. Her work ethic is driven by her fear of being poor. And that pretty much sums it up for me. Yeah, I understand. She never ever wants to be poor again. And so she works her ass off. And baby, I understand. We get to see her meet with a developer, another black developer. He has a property where he has built 7 townhomes, and they are looking to sell these for the price range of $650,000 to $675,000. If y'all don't learn nothing else from this show, real estate is the key to wealth. If you don't learn nothing else from this show, real estate is the key to wealth. Take it and run with it. Then we get to see Crystal and Kiana. Crystal is at a closing for this $3 million property that her buyer is buying. It's a $3 million fixer-upper. She finishes the closing. Kiana FaceTimes her to talk about all of her stress with her birthday party and her agents and all of these things. They bring up Tiffany, and Crystal's just, I don't know why. There's always something between me and Tiffany. And she just doesn't, like me, I guess. The girl. I cannot stand Crystal. Oh, God. Moving on. Then we get to Kiana's birthday party. Let me first say, y'all know I love Kiana. I think Kiana is a super fly girl. However, I was not feeling that birthday look. The blunt bob with the headpiece, and the hair was already super dense. Like, it's a lot of hair. It's this a big headpiece, these super duper earrings. It was just a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. Now, I get it was her 40th birthday. I get she wants to be adorned like a queen. I totally understand. And it's just my take on the look. It just, wasn't really my thing. That's just it. Crystal and Tiffany finally sit down to talk. Let me tell you something. I'm not even about to fully rehash this conversation because Crystal is the author of confusion. Crystal literally has conversations in a style that is designed to create confusion and cause the other person to come across as the problem because they are tripped up in the mess that she's creating in this conversation. She has no intent to have a real conversation, to have any real resolution, to arrive at any point, to have any real communication happen. She really just wants to stir up confusion to serve whatever her overall agenda is. And in this case, I feel like her overall agenda is to sever whatever ties she feels are being developed between Tiffany and Robin. Crystal sits down and she starts to make this very fake conversation. And I respect the fact that what Tiffany did was Tiffany spoke to her in regard to what is relative. The only thing I do have to talk to you about, because I don't really have anything else to talk to you about. We don't talk. So she says, yeah, Robin told me that you guys made up. And Crystal's, yeah, of course, we're really good friends and yada, yada, yada. And I feel like if a relationship doesn't go through the ups and downs, how do you really know it's a really good relationship? And Tiffany is like, I don't know. My relationships, I don't really do the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs. When I'm somebody's friend, I take that to be that, we have a bond, we have an understanding. I can be myself. There's no judgment. That's just my understanding of friendship. So I don't really do ebbs and flows. And Crystal responds with, well, I'm glad your relationships are perfect. But as for mine, no, we go through ups and downs. And Crystal started with an agenda to cause confusion. I just can't. When Crystal brings up the point that, she and Tiffany have never really had a conversation before this, Tiffany says, yeah, because I'm an energy person. And if the energy isn't there, I don't really, I'm not the type that's just going to go and make conversation with everybody. I just don't. And Crystal is, are we talking about me? She said, no, I don't talk about you. No, I mean, are you referring to that's your approach to me? She said, no, I'm talking about me. This is my approach to life. That I don't walk into a room and go, oh, let me see who I can connect with. I go in, and if I'm drawn to somebody, I'm drawn to them. And if I'm not, I'm not. And it doesn't mean anything if I'm not. And I get that because I'm the same way. Maybe I'm biased, but I get it. Like, I'm not going into a room trying to, be friends with everybody. Let me see who I can rub elbows with. Girl, bye. Move. Hey, how y'all doing? Here to have a good time. If we vibe, we vibe. If we don't, we don't. Everybody is not meant for you to connect with. And if you are that wide open and you are trying to connect with just any and everybody, you might need to check your spiritual hygiene, because everybody ain't to be connected with. Crystal goes on to say to Tiffany, well, no, I don't feel like it's an energy thing, because I feel like you're friendly to realtors and things like that, people who you can benefit from, but not necessarily me. And Tiffany is like, no, because I don't think about the industry like that. Maybe you do, but I don't necessarily approach it that way. And Tiffany goes on to say, listen, while you're bringing up this whole, you think it's an issue, I have an issue with you, I would deal with people who are beneficial, but not you. If that's the case, why is it that Kira just recently came to me and told me you're trying to poach her as a client? You know that she is my client. She works almost exclusively with me, yet you're meeting with her trying to get her business. But you're telling me you want us to be friends. She said, when you and Robin fell out, Robin came to me and was fully prepared to bring me all her business. But I told her I didn't want it. One, because I don't need her business. And two, because I don't roll like that. I'm not out here trying to just take clients from people. And so now, because Crystal's card is getting pulled, well, I just wanted to have a conversation. Tiffany said, what are you talking about? Well, I just wanted to have a conversation. She said, well, then converse. Girl, talk. Because your words are coming out of your mouth, but we're not communicating. Like, is this what they taught you in law school? I do not understand. So Crystal goes on to say, well, I was trying, but obviously we can't talk. And she said, we're talking now. No, we can't talk beyond hi and bye. So this was me trying. This is me not trying. Okay, girl, bye. I am so done with Crystal. Like, I cannot stand her. Crystal is an emotionally violent type of person. And she is the type that literally tries to trigger people to get reactions out of them while she sits and pretends like she's done nothing and they're the problem. And that's exactly what she went into Robin and said. Well, that went exactly like I thought it was going to go. And she was like, well, how did it go? Oh, I don't have a problem with you. I don't know what you're talking about. And Robin, damn it, do you believe her? Well, it doesn't really matter if I believe her. It doesn't really. And so you see Crystal telling Robin she don't care. And then you see Tiffany telling Tiana, your friend is weird and I don't even want to talk about her. That was the most awkward conversation and encounter ever. Something is wrong with her and I'm real good and done. And guess what? Me too. That was the end of the episode. And for some reason, there are more episodes after because they show us an upcoming episode with what, I don't know. I guess Robin is going to be talking about her adventures and threesomes because she just can't wait to let us know about all her extracurricular activities. I can't wait to move on. So that's the end of this episode. I'm going to try not to be as abrupt as I was last episode because they drove me nuts and I know I just kind of hung up on y'all and I'm real sorry about that. But yeah. So, if you would be so kind, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Because we are officially over 6,000 subscribers. So we are on to our next landmark. Okay. Thank y'all so much for coming down here, listening to me, letting me get it off my chest. As always, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you next time. Love you, mean it. Bye.